Good morning. This is Pastor Brian. Thank you for joining me for our daily Bible study as we walk through Psalms. Today, Psalm 28. I'll be reading from the Common English Bible as always, and you are welcome to read with your own translation. Find a copy of the Common English Bible somewhere online or a physical copy, or just listen as we read Psalm 28 together. I cry to you, Lord. You are my rock. Don't refuse to hear me. If you won't talk to me, I'll be just like those going down to the pit. Listen to my request for mercy when I cry out to you, when I lift up my hands to your holy inner sanctuary. Don't drag me off with the wicked and those who do evil, the type who talk nice to their friends while evil thoughts are in their hearts. Pay them back for what they've done. Pay them back for their evil deeds. Pay them back for their handiwork. Give back to them exactly what they deserve, because they have no regard for what the Lord has done, no regard for his handiwork. God will tear them down and never rebuild. Bless the Lord because he has listened to my request for mercy. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts him. I was helped. My heart rejoiced, and I thank him with my song. The Lord is his people's strength. He is a fortress for protection for his anointed one. Save your people, God. Bless your possession. Shepherd them and carry them for all time. It's the end of Psalm 28. You know, one of the things that I find interesting about this psalm is, the first half of the psalm seems to be requesting protection for himself. And then the next section is praise for being protected. So a request and then a praise, a thanksgiving, a recognition that he had been protected, that the psalmist had been protected. And I think that's important for us to see as well, is not just, I think as I mentioned another one, not just come to God when things are bad, and not just to come to God when things are good, but to thank God and to bless God for the times that we recognize, look back, and maybe it'll take time, maybe even years, but to say, hey, you know what? I know I didn't realize it then, but God was in the midst of that time in which I had trouble. God was there for me when I was struggling with my life. And now I want to thank and bless God for being my strength and my shield. And then the last part I want to last two things I want to point out, they're right next to each other, is the very last verse, verse 9, is it says, save your people, God. So now the psalmist is extending it to everyone. He's not just thinking about himself. He is thinking about all people. And then the last thing I want to point out is an interesting word here is the word possession. Bless your possession. And so I think that's an interesting way to word it. It looks like in the NRSV, it says, bless your heritage. Possession sounds interesting. It sounds, on the one hand, harsh because of the way in which we think of possession, especially towards people. We don't think of people, and we shouldn't think of people. I know some people may, but people should not be thought of as possessions. But when it's coming from God, I think that's an interesting and maybe kind of in a way a nice way to think about it, that we are God's. I like to talk about being called children of God, and that we are all God's children. And in a way, we have been chosen to be those children, and therefore God claims us. So that claiming, if you want to kind of take it down a path, you could say that it is a possession. And anyway, I just think that that's an interesting way to word it. I think feeling like God owns us, uh, you know, for me is helpful to know that God takes care of me, that God has my best intentions in mind. You know, when you've got something precious that you own, you want to take care of it. You want to make sure it stays beautiful. You want to make sure that it's, doesn't get broken. And so that kind of possession mindset in that way leads me to feel like God is blessing the thing that he finds precious. And that is beautiful imagery for me. So, what did you hear? I dove in probably more deeper than I have for quite some time. But what did you hear? What did you like? What didn't you like? Maybe you didn't like the word possession, and don't let my description of it force you to change your mind. But think about it. So what did you like? What didn't you like? Write it down, share it with a friend, share it with us. Please take care of yourselves. Stay safe, and God bless.